Hi everybody. So, what I will be talking about today is our study regarding procrastination. So, procrastination is the action of delaying or postponing something, also known as the avoidance of doing a task that needs to be accomplished. Scraw 2007 stated that there are three criteria for a behavior to be classified as academic procrastination. But Savini and Silver argue that postponement and irrationality are the two only key features of procrastination. So they believe that putting a task off is not procrastination if there are rational reasons for doing so. So coping up responses with procrastination would include avoidance, meaning avoiding the location or situation where the task takes place. Denial, pretending that procrastinatory behavior is not actually procrastinating. Distraction, so this is examples of web browsing while studying. Descending counterfactuality, comparing life situations with others. Valorization, pointing in satisfaction to what one has already achieved. Blaming, delusional attributions to external factors. And finally, mocking, using humor to validate one's procrastination. Procrastination is a significant problem, especially in college years, in part because many college students lack efficient time management in using the internet. Of course, procrastination will have negative effects. This would include depression, irrational behavior, low self-esteem, anxiety, and neurological disorders such as ADHD. Pardon me. So here we are at the cream of the crop. This is the title of our study, so the level of procrastination among research methodology students from the College of Rehabilitation Sciences. So to formally introduce this, I am a member of Group 1 from the College of Rehabilitation Sciences under the Department of Sports Science, third year, batch 2019. So moving forward, the objectives of our study is of course, as the title implies, to describe the level of procrastination among research methodology students. Specific objectives would include to compare the level of procrastination of students in each program enrolled in Research Methodology 1, to determine the prevalence of procrastination among CRS students enrolled in Research Methodology 1, and finally, to compare the level of procrastination between academic and non-academic activities. So, methodology. The study design based on the data is a quantitative and qualitative data. Study design based on objectives would be a descriptive study design. And of course, study design based on methodology, it would include observational types. So the study design is cross-sectional. Participants were assessed whether they were procrastinating or not and how prevalent it was academically and non-academically. So the setting of the study is in the College of Rehabilitation Sciences, and the participants included 34 students from each department. So the level of evidence that we used in this study would be secondary evidence. So here we are at the results. So for specific objective number 1, may I just repeat, to compare the level of procrastination of students in each program enrolled in ResMet 1. So here's the first pie graph. As you can see, as seen in the data, almost none of the selected 34 students of OT or occupational therapy are non-procrastinators. So all of them were non-procrastinators, and because they were able to cope up with all the workloads and effectively manage their time as seen from the number of procrastinators. Second data, here in this class 9% are known procrastinators out of 34 students. So Here in this graph of the physical therapy students, they are the second highest percentage of procrastinators in CRS. So in the SPS class, or the sports science class, 15% of the students show that they are procrastinators. This graph shows that few of the students in the class of SPS have problems with procrastination. So final graph for objective number 1 would be for the SLP. Here in this class, only 6% are procrastinators. So almost majority of the students in SLP are less likely to procrastinate. So moving on to specific objective number 2, to determine the prevalence of procrastination among CRS students enrolled in ResMed 1. So out of all the students of ResMed 1 class in CRS, only 7% out of the 136 students are procrastinators. Next graph would be the class of SPS has the highest number of procrastinators, followed by the class of physical therapy and speech and language pathology. Okay, so we're down to our final specific objective, which is to compare the level of procrastination between academic and non-academic activities. So the pie graph shows a 50% distribution of procrastinating among the academic and non-academic conditions. The data is clearly stating that occupational therapy students are people who can easily balance their studies and activities outside school, but it also means that they have an equal chance of having problems in only one area because of the lack of priority. The second graph shows that there is an 83.5% chance of academic procrastination among physical therapy students. So physical therapy students are more likely to have problems academically, but they also tend to procrastinate on non-academic activities to possibly compensate academically. So third graph would show that SPS has a 71% chance to procrastinate academically. This data clearly states that the students are having a hard time in their studies, which also affects their activities outside their school premises. Final graph for the final objective would be for the SLP. So this graph shows that procrastination for speech and language pathology students are 100% apparent in academic situations. This data states that they are having problems with their studies despite the fact that they can do things non-academically with great efficiency. So here we are finally at the conclusion. In conclusion, among 136 students of ResMed 1 in the College of Rehabilitation Sciences, only 7% are procrastinators. Sports science had the highest number of procrastinators over the program's physical therapy and speech and language pathology. Occupational therapy was known to have 0 procrastinators, and there was 50% split distribution of procrastinating among the academic and non-academic divisions. 9% of the students in physical therapy are known to be procrastinators, and higher 83.5% chance of academic procrastination. 6% of the students in speech-language pathology are procrastinators, and there is a 100% possibility of academic procrastination. 15% of the students in sports science are procrastinators, and they show a 71% chance of procrastinating academically. So, implications of the study. Procrastination is not prevalent in the students of ResMed 1, with only 7% possibly due to the difficulty of the subject. However, given the data that almost all programs of the College of Rehabilitation Sciences have a higher chance of procrastinating academically, the institution, the school, or the professors can use it as a reference in creating a program which is to completely abolish or lessen procrastination in the said students. So, with that said, I thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned a lot about the procrastinating, and farewell.